Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. It's good to see many of you have recovered from your Thanksgiving Day events. I hope everybody had a good holiday, filled up on bird or whatever you were serving. Would have been nice if we could have all been with our families. I know I would have enjoyed more company, or the freedom to actually go out and do something more. Normally around this time, I know many of you have come to expect that I would be reviewing a Titan figure. So this is usually when I would review the large toys. Unfortunately, things ended up being changed in my schedules, so I am not able to review Scorponok at this time. I do want to assure all of you, I do have Earthrise Scorponok. I do have him. He will be reviewed. I'm making arrangements for him to be reviewed next month in December. So, I do ask that all of you be patient and await for him. And I will try to make it worth the wait. But again, I do apologize for breaking normal traditions, but I think we've all had to break a few during this time, thanks to the pandemic. But at any rate, we got another Earthrise figure for you. We have Smokescreen. And of course, we also have his Generation 1 counterpart right here. So you can see he is a bit taller than his original toy, but is a very close proximity to the original. Now, I do want to point out a few things about this toy. For any of you who've not really been keeping up on who all is going to be released for the Earthrise lineup, yes, the other versions of this particular car that Smokescreen is in will be released, as the mold was slightly retooled in the Generation 1 era to also make Blue Streak and Prowl. Blue Streak is an exclusive to Walgreens, and as of the recording of this video, I do not have Blue Streak yet. And Prowl is part of a 2-pack with Ironhide that is an Amazon exclusive. I have purchased that, but Hasbro and Amazon seem to be decking around on getting them to me, as I've had a couple of false alarms on that they were coming, and then all of a sudden, the following day, nope, sorry, you're not getting yours. I think somebody's going to be getting a few rude gestures if I keep getting those messages. There is also something else about this toy that is something of a carryover from the original, but is also a quality control issue. And I want to give a shout out to Rodimus Primal for doing a video earlier this month that talked about this issue. On the original Generation 1 toy versions of Smokescreen and all those others, there was an issue with the windshields. They were on very thin plastic here, and they tended to break very, very easily if you had some rough play. Apparently, according to Rodimus, he has one of the Blue Streak figures, and the windscreen on his easily just popped right off when he was first transforming it. And since the mold will be the same for Smokescreen and Prowl here, you will want to be very, very cautious with this, just to make sure that yours doesn't wind up broken. I mean, Smokescreen, it's kind of, if it breaks, you can probably go out and get another one at the store, if you can find any of these at the stores. I mean, pretty much all the guys that you've seen this month, the bigger guys, not the little small fry, all the bigger guys, I've had to buy from other sources. Double dealer I bought off of some friends of mine. The Graves sisters, as you've heard numerous mentions of them here on the channel. And everybody else, all the other guys, I bought them on eBay. I had to buy them on eBay because the stores just are not stocking these things here. There was Scorponok mentioned. Scorponok I did buy at the store, surprisingly enough. I did find Scorponok at a store. Granted, I had to drive to a store 20 plus miles from my home, but I did buy him at a store. So, yes, you can buy Scorponok at a store. You just have to find a store that's going to carry big toys. And like I said, I had to go 20 miles from my home to do it. But alright, enough about that. Now, there is a nice feature here with the new Smokescreen. His guns on the shoulder not only can be removed, which you'd have to do anyways, but the guns can also be plugged in to the side of his rifle and give you something of an exotic weapon there. Bring it up close here so you can get a good look at it, and that's kind of nice. It at least gives you the option. You know, you have an option with the weapons, and especially when you consider the fact that we're going to have 3 guys with this same body style. Little variation on the weaponry isn't a bad thing. Not really. It's at least better than how they did it in Siege, where some of us were definitely disappointed in the fact that certain guys got the little shoulder guns and certain ones didn't. Prowl was given a rifle but no shoulder guns. They recolored Prowl to be Barricade. Barricade gets the shoulder guns but no rifle. And then Walmart gets Blue Streak and Blue Streak gets both. Now, somebody explain to me how in the heck that makes any sense. Oh, well, I've given up trying on that. Articulation-wise, on the original Smokescreen, it was pretty well limited to his arms. You know, you had some shoulder articulation. You could bend his arm at the elbow and rotate it at the bicep a bit, but it was all limited due to the fact of the hood of the car being kind of in the way. For the modern version of Smokescreen, we have considerably more. Now, as you just saw there, he can twist at the hip. It's not what I was trying to do, but he can twist at the hip. His head can be turned from side to side, and it is on a bit of a ball joint, so it does move up and down a considerable bit. His arms can be raised up about so far, and if you move the car door out of the way, his arms can rotate at the shoulder. His arms do bend at the elbow, just slightly above 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has the infamous G.I. Joe battle grip. As you saw earlier, he can swivel at the hips. His legs can spread apart into a full splits. You can raise his leg up at the hip more than 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So Smokescreen here has quite a bit of articulation and is ready to be posed on your shelf. Okay, before we start transforming Smokescreen here, let's take a look at his accessories. He has 2 of these little guns. Like I said, with these big holes on their sides, they can be plugged into his rifle, or you can plug in their bottom pieces onto the hood of the car. Like I said, he has 2 of them, and they are exactly the same. And Smokescreen also has his rifle. Which takes only a handful of design cues from the original rifle, but still looks pretty good. Plus, according to the instructions, there's also a bonus feature with it. You can plug the rifle here into the hole on his back, and he can store it, which is kind of nice, especially if you're going to have him hold some Micromasters instead. You can at least store his rifle. Alright. Whoops. Don't twist the arm too much there. Now, to transform Smokescreen, first thing we're going to do is we twist him at the hips all the way around, like so. The directions show that this piece here should be folded down. Instead, now you fold it up. It's an easy section to overlook when you're transforming him. And then, of course, you will connect the legs together, like so. Just make sure they're connected even all the way at the back. And then we're going to raise his arms up, like so. And that's when we pop the dashboard, the hood of the car free, and fold it up. Everything up over his head, like so. Underneath here, you're going to find this little piece for the hood. You'll fold it down and line it up to form the hood of the car. There we go. Should snap right into place and be secured. And now we lay him on his belly so that we can fold the legs up like so. And then start folding down the rear portion of the car. And start snapping it into place. We have to make some slight adjustments to get it in. Once it's in, like that, we just try to keep him from shifting and shift the lower blue portions down. You may have to get underneath the car to help shift those pieces all inside, just exactly like that. Of course, they also want you to rotate his head while you're under here, all the way around. And of course, once everything's in, you'll fold in these black pieces from the bottom of his feet to secure everything in. Then the arms here, you'll rotate the arm at the shoulder so the wheel is on the ground. Then you will bring the arms up and then fold them down underneath the car. Then you flip him over and close the doors. And then there you have it. Smokescreen is in his race car mode, which, as you can see, is done up in the same detail as the original. Just the camera here. Now, of course, the original car was intended to be a Datsun Fairlady modified for racing. And the new one kind of captures the same design, but of course isn't intended to be one, so that way Hasbro doesn't have to pay the licensing fees. And of course, as an added bonus, since all the holes are accessible in the vehicle mode, you can attach your guns. And then there you have it. He now has an attack mode. Now, of course, some of you may be wondering why the racing number is changed, since the original has 38 and the new one has 80 on it. Well, that's likely just a design aesthetic. Supposedly, on the original toy, the number was supposed to be 83 to be reminiscent of a real car. But they changed it around to 38 so that they could avoid paying legal fees and other fees for it. So by making the new one have an 80 as the number, it's probably trying to pay homage to the original toy and its intent, but also give it a different number to, again, avoid any potential legal issues. Of course, how does the new one roll here? It rolls pretty good, which is what you would expect out of a racing car. At any rate, we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of the new Smokescreen? I like this new version of Smokescreen, surprisingly enough. It doesn't come off as being a fragile toy like the original Generation 1 version is. So I'm very grateful for that in many respects, that it's not as fragile. I am concerned, though, about, as Rodimus Primal pointed out, the windshield being very easy to break. That does have me concerned that Hasbro's quality control is going down. And judging by a lot of the complaints that are out there online for the Earthrise line, and how easily the toys are breaking, that does bother me. In a lot of respects, Hasbro is, without a doubt, the biggest toy maker in the United States, surpassing Mattel, since Mattel predominantly makes Hot Wheels cars and Barbies, and they're trying to have another go at He-Man again, which I wish them luck on that. But with Hasbro putting these out, and we've had complaints about how they are and how the G.I. Joe classified figures are. And we've got a serious problem here with a toy maker making stuff they want us older collectors to buy that are crap. And we, the fans, should not stand for this. If only Hasbro would listen to us. But, like every other major company in the world, they don't care so long as we keep paying out the money. At any rate, that concludes my review of the Earthrise version of Smokescreen. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, drop me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you can join our ranks. Make sure you ring the bell so you'll be notified when I post new content. I also ask that you share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. That's what helps this channel grow. And share your thoughts about Smokescreen in the comments down below. Next month, we're going to continue to take a look at some Earthrise toys, as a few more should be dropping, and we're going to try our best to get them. But we're also going to take a look at some of the Generation Selects toys that Hasbro's been selling on their website. We've managed to get a few, so we'll take a look at them as well. And maybe if we're lucky, we may have one or two surprises to go along with it for the month. We've had a lousy year here in 2020 thanks to the coronavirus, but We here at this channel, we're dedicated to providing you with a good Transformers review, regardless of what's going on outside. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.